And if you are not in the United States currently, I would highly advise do not come here. You cannot trust us. You cannot trust our government. It is unsafe. Do not come here.
Peristiwa terbaru yang menggemparkan dunia adalah tragedi terhadap Charlie Kirk, seorang aktivis serta figur publik ternama tangan kanan Donald Trump. Ironisnya, Kirk selama ini dikenal vokal dalam mendukung kepemilikan senjata api. Namun, dirinya justru meninggal karena senjata. Peristiwa ini gak cuman sekedar kasus biasa. Kasusnya langsung jadi sorotan internasional. Dan peristiwa ini semakin menegaskan satu hal, kejahatan bersenjata di Amerika sudah di luar kendali.
I don't know. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth the cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year, so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That's a prudent deal. It's rational. That's a quote from Charlie Kirk in 2023, shortly after yet another deadly school shooting in America. And while I don't agree with that statement, or many of his other statements, what happened to him today was disgustingly terrible. And if you don't see an issue in it, there's an issue with you. He was murdered in front of his wife, his 2-year-old daughter, and 1-year-old son. And no amount of thoughts and prayers can change that. And while it's tragic, it's not surprising. Because shootings like this one are normal in America. In fact, just 4 minutes after he was shot, there was another shooting in Colorado at a high school in which a child was murdered and 2 others were injured, which also isn't surprising because school shootings happen almost every single day here in the United States of America.
Ya, kejahatan bersenjata bukanlah hal yang baru di Amerika. Ada banyak sekali kasus kejahatan bersenjata yang terjadi hampir setiap hari. Tinggal di Amerika itu seperti setor nyawa tiap hari. Kamu tidak tahu kapan bisa ditembak. Entah di sekolah, di gereja, atau bahkan saat belanja di supermarket. Rasanya seperti senjata lebih mudah dibeli daripada roti. Komentar-komentar kayak gini selalu menghiasi jagat sosial media. Karena faktanya memang benar. Hampir setiap hari ada banyak kasus seperti ini di berbagai wilayah Amerika. Rasanya seperti hidup di negara penjahat. Mungkin kata ini gak berlebihan. Karena banyak warga Amerika yang sudah lelah, resah bahkan marah dengan masifnya peredaran senjata di sana. Hal seperti ini udah kayak penyakit kronis yang tak pernah sembuh. Karena akar masalahnya ada di mana? Tentu saja ada di kebijakan pemerintah di sana. Hampir setiap minggu ada berita penembakan massal. Sekolah, kampus, pusat perbelanjaan, hingga tempat ibadah, semua pernah jadi lokasi tragedi. Dan gak cuman soal kejahatan bersenjata. Faktanya, memang keamanan ini negara udah berada di tahap parah banget. Banyak banget soal isu keamanan di sana. Dan warga lokalnya pun mengakui betapa buruknya kualitas keamanan di sana.
People are going to stop coming to the United States. There has been story after story of tourists being detained by ICE for no reason, being stripped, put in cold showers, interrogated, tortured, being detained indefinitely, not being allowed to speak to their family members, not being allowed to speak to their lawyers. Do you think anyone from Europe is going to want to come to the United States this summer? Our tourism industry has already died. The majority of people just don't realize it yet. And if you are not in the United States currently, I would highly advise do not come here. You cannot trust us. You cannot trust our government. It is unsafe. Do not come here.
Dengan buruknya sistem keamanan di sana, di lain sisi, banyak bule justru malah dibuat gemetar dengan tingkat keamanan di Indonesia. Mereka tak menyangka bisa berjalan santai di malam hari tanpa dihantui rasa takut. Mereka kaget melihat bagaimana orang Indonesia begitu ramah, murah senyum, dan peduli satu sama lain. Budaya gotong royong, solidaritas antar warga, dan norma sosial yang kuat membuat Indonesia terasa lebih manusiawi. Inilah hal yang membuat bule sampai merinding. Karena mereka membandingkan langsung dengan kondisi di negaranya sendiri yang penuh ketakutan.
Okay, so I'm in Bali right now and I fucking love love this place and I love the people and I want to talk about it because I've been to so many countries and none of them have been like Indonesia. A lot of people want to come here for like the cafes and the photos, all well and good. What makes this place so spectacular is the people. I have never been to a country where I have met people like Indonesian people. They are the friendliest people you will ever meet, always want to strike up a conversation. They're such givers, they always give way more than they get and they go above and beyond for everyone and it's such a beautiful thing. Like the other day I went to the reception and I said, hey, do you guys have band-aids, like plasters? Because the skin on my foot was charring off from these bloody tivers. It was looking mad, so I needed a band-aid, okay? So I went to reception and they were like, oh no, we don't have any. So I was like, oh, okay, cool, no worries. In my head I'm like, okay, I'll just go buy some later. They're like, no, go to your room, we'll go find some, we'll go buy some. I'm like, I didn't pay for this. Like, you don't have to do that. And it's so sweet. On top of that, they're so welcoming. They want people to come to their country. They love sharing it. And I just, oh my God, I'm so happy. This place makes me so happy. And I just wanted to talk about the people and like just give an ode to Indonesian people for a minute.
Tentu, ini adalah kontras yang sangat jelas. Memang, di negara kita pun masih punya banyak masalah. Dan sudah pasti masih ada kasus-kasus kejahatan. Karena sudah sangat wajar. Di setiap negara pasti ada kasus kejahatan. Tapi, soal rasa aman, Indonesia bisa jadi contoh. Dengan solidaritas sosial, dengan budaya yang menekankan kepedulian, Indonesia bisa menghadirkan kenyamanan yang justru tidak ditemukan di negeri adidaya seperti Amerika. Kasus ini merupakan salah satu contoh dari betapa rapuhnya sistem keamanan di Amerika. Negara yang katanya jadi panutan dunia, ternyata gagal memberi rasa aman bagi rakyatnya sendiri. Tentu saja gagal, karena aturan mereka diterapkan bukan berdasarkan nilai agama, budaya ataupun kemanusiaan. Semua ditentukan berdasarkan hawa nafsu, logika, dan kepentingan semata.